Moving on then to the 6th of the heats in the second round in the sprint championship. And we have the rider from Slovakia, Martin Nothstein, who fought his way through out of the repechage up against the American and when the American came through straight into this second round, Paul Swift makes it look so easy against Fiedler. In fact, I say so easy, there were questions asked as how it was that Fiedler got beaten. Well, Fiedler, we presume and think from our inquiries and chats amongst the camp, allowed Swift to take the victory so that he wouldn't go through, as I said earlier in the programme, to ride against Hubner, his teammate. And Fiedler's tactics paid off by, in the first round, beating Kurt Harnett, the fastest man on the track. So that was a great risk to take. I'm not being disrespectful to Swift on the track at the moment, who's pulled second place here, but it meant that Swift only had to ride one round, whereas Fiedler's had to ride 2 rounds now, coming back through the repechage. Swift, who was 5th in the American Match Sprint Series, selected then to ride in the Worlds and qualified in a time 19th place, 10.337 against Jeroslав, who qualified 12th in 10.232. So on paper, a very closely matched pair. Go. Oh, as soon as he bounced his wheel, he jumped. He heard him going up and down, and so he thought he might have well opened the thing up a bit. Swift still in the best possible place. This 29-year-old from Kenosha. Has now taken the lead at the moment. And that's a big gap to close down as far as the Slovakian rider is concerned. But he's done it, but can he come past the finishing straight? I don't think so. Swift's got that one. Yes, he has. Oh, I said yes, he has. Probably no more than about half a wheel in it. I'll wait to see the side picture of that one. He's looking back down in here. At least he's saying, yeah, I got that one. Well, if you don't fall out with this fellow on the bottom of the track, Swift, because one of his other hobbies is wrestling. He wrestled with the bike on that time, and ooh, the sudden lunge at the line meant he nearly lost it, but he got that one. Way back in 1984, Swift was the junior national champion in the sprint and the kilometre time trial. He's actually got a degree in communication, so I think at the moment he's signalled to the rest of the opposition around the track at the moment that he could be in with a shout for a medal if he keeps this one up. Interesting enough, he also designs his own bike, so unlike most of the competitors who take what's given to them, he's quite fascinated about the technicalities of bike design. And here Michael Hubner, who I suggest if you said ride this sunshine, he'd ride anything providing it had two wheels and it was in good order, and he'd ride it so fast few people could catch him. Hubner, one of the great characters of sprinting, not only a past Kieran champion of the world, but way back in 1992 took the sprint there, but last year could do no better than finish in third spot. He was first champion of the world in the pro ranks in 1990. That's the big fella you're looking at now. His first championship he ever took as an amateur was in 86 at Colorado Springs, when he beat Lutz Hesslich, who's one of our commentators working with Peter Voigt for Eurosport. He finished second, did Michael Hubner, behind Lutz Hesslich in 1985 at Bassano Grappa. And his first main amateur medal was way back in 1983 at Zurich, when he finished third. So the fellow at the back here, what he doesn't know about track sprinting, I would suggest is not worth knowing, but he's up against Bill Clay. Again, another of the Americans that have come through in recent years, and they keep popping up, these fellas. Big Bill Clay, the reigning American sprint champion, leading out Mr. Man Mountain himself. It looks good kill. The way that Hubner looks over his shoulder when he comes past you, it's like, you come past me, sunshine. It's a bunch of fives. He's gone now so quickly. Hubner didn't really like the 200-meter qualifying time. He finished just inside the old world record in his 7th spot. He's very quick indeed. I think Bill Clay finished 13th. Has met his match on this occasion, because Hubner is showing not only sheer speed but track craft as well to take that second heat without much difficulty at all. Now Bill Clay will have to come back through the repechage. The man from Vernon Hills, who now lives and trains in Indianapolis, has come up against Michael Hubner with all that skill, experience. Olympic champion. Great crowd pleaser. But on the track, he can be a real menace to anybody else who's alongside him. Two more heats to go then. Nuclear on the block here. Van Eijden against Marty Nothstein. We've got the up-and-coming youngsters prepared to have a go. Van Eijden from Germany against the reigning world champion Marty Nothstein. Van Eijden, the world kilometre junior champion. So we're going to see an interesting competition here, because Marty Nothstein, who crashed heavily about 3 weeks ago in training, there were some doubts about his chance of taking part in the competition. He's recovered. He's not been quite as sharp as we've seen him in previous years, and he's come up against man here, Van Eijden, who, like with most newcomers to senior level, who've come up to the junior ranks, wants to show himself. And what a massive difference in size and experience. Van Eijden, only 19 years of age, the fellow at the back there, from Bad Noorderweiler. Twice the German junior sprint champion. Just 19 years of age, that fellow. Came 8th in qualifying, 10.154. Nothstein only 11th, 10.212. So the German, the young star at the back, is that sniff faster on paper. Both came straight through into this round. They didn't have to come back by the repechage. Oh, the little fellas. Oi! I find that very sort of, hey, sunshine, I'm in this race as well as you are. I mean, the German just up there flicked his wheel and said, look, champion, I'm here too with you. And that really is, I would say, arrogance, but the 19-year-old has decided to take Nothstein all over the track. Oh, this is going to be great. He's going away too. Nothstein has to close the gap. Is he going to do it? No, I don't think he got it. That was sheer arrogance for the 19-year-old German rider who flicked his wheel, rode the champion up towards the boards and came down and thundered away from him. Well, Marty won't be happy with that one, but he has been injured. I think somehow he's lost that zip. But this young fella here has shown the rest of the sprinters that he's not to be just dismissed as a new young kid on the block. He may be a junior kilometre champion, but he can go like stink. Just look at this.
Roberto Chiappa, Italy, et le 38, 38, Florian Rousseau, France.
Right over the front of the bike, head down, on the line. Did Nothstein get it? Did the young German get it? What a sprint finish. Both of them totally committed.
C'est le Français Florian Rousseau qui mènera le premier tour, leads the first lap, Rousseau.
Rousseau's drawn the short straw. He's been the French sprint champion, as well as the past kilometre world champion. Wasn't firing on all cylinders this time round. He's on the bottom of the track, right hand side. Turn more and more attention towards the sprinting side of the game rather than the kilometre, which really is only contested at national and world level. There's much more going for sprinting as such. I think that's why he's probably decided to have a go more and more at sprinting. And France, which is knee-deep in top sprinters, is a good place to make your mark. So Florian Rousseau on the front at the moment, twice the kilometre champion of the world now. In this, the second round of the World Sprint Championship. Just ahead of Chiappa, junior sprint champion in 1991. They come up against each other very many times at events like the World Cup, which has become so well supported over the last couple of years. But they come from entirely different backgrounds. Chiappa, a junior sprint champion of the world. Against twice kilometre champion of the world, Rousseau on the front. And in qualifying, Chiappa's time 10.187, Rousseau 10.188. So there's nothing in terms of speed between these two. It's all down to track craft. Both of them came straight into the second round without going through the repechage. Chiappa beating Paris, Rousseau beating Boran. This could be very, very close indeed. Rousseau on the front, Chiappa behind now, closes the gap. 1 lap to go. Rousseau's gone for the long one, as I'd expect, because Chiappa is the more explosive sprinter, and he's opened a bit of a gap, which means Chiappa has to close down before he gets to the slipstream of Rousseau, who's now trying to use his kilometre speed to stay away. Can Chiappa come past him? I don't think it's going to happen on the line. Rousseau gets it. For Chiappa, I'm surprised that he left such a gap between himself and Rousseau, because the tactics had to be for Rousseau to go for a long one with his kilometre speed, and Chiappa, when he responded, closed the gap, but he didn't have anything like the sort of slipstreaming he hoped. So they've been so close in qualifying. When it came to the out-and-out sprint, Rousseau showed how much he had learned from people like Jaroslav Jerabek when it comes to track sprinting, to take that, which was the 9th and final round of our second heat in the sprints tonight. Rousseau cooling down at the bottom of the track after beating Chiappa. So the riders who go straight through into the next round can now go and rest and relax and say, well, that's it as far as I'm concerned. I'm through now into the 8th final, while those who got beaten out of sight will come back through the repechage. We will have the sprint, repechage and the 8th finals, all being well, on Eurosport tonight. Let's keep our fingers crossed.